In today's video I'm going to show you a chord voicing that works all over the fretboard without sounding muddy. And I'm going to show you how I came up with the intro to the strictly bass song Walk. Bass hack coming up. Hey bass hackers, Misha here with MMEducation, showing you how to learn faster and practice smarter by using the latest findings in neuroscience so you can become the bass player you want to be, express yourself freely on your instrument and connect with your audience on a deeper level. So if you're new here, consider subscribing, and at any point during the video go check out the show notes and links in the description below. Bullet points to this video, links to related videos and free resources, all in the description. So let's get going and create some new neural pathways. When I started out playing solo bass music, I wanted to accompany myself with chords, make loops with chords, or just play them as a groove. But there's a couple of problems that I ran into. First, most of them sound really muddy on the bass. Secondly, I only knew the most basic chord shapes, so I had very little variation in between what I could use. And then the shapes that I used, they had no separation between the top note and the bass note and the chord, or the melody and the chord underneath. So when I felt stuck and like I was getting nowhere with my chords, I thought, hey, what about reaching out to the guys that actually know how to deal with chords? For example, flute players. No, just kidding. So piano players, they do this thing called spread voicings. I'm gonna get to the details in a little bit, but just to explain you what I'm talking about, when they play these wide chords, open sounding, all over the keyboard, that's exactly what I'm talking about. And now, simplify this concept and apply it to the bass, and you get the most beautiful bass chords in the world. Today's episode may be overwhelming you, but just take your time, watch it again and again to take in all the information, because today we're going to cover quite some ground. We're going to talk about the major triad, the minor triad, and the diminished triad as spread voicings, and then we're going to talk about the inversions of each of these. So altogether we'll learn nine new shapes to use all over the fretboard. Alright, the first shapes we're going to look at are the major shapes. In its root position, it works like this. Usually, I would play a A major chord like this. Root note, major third, perfect fifth. So the concept of a spread voicing now is as follows. We just transpose the major third one octave up. Of course, to make it a little bit more playable, we're going to move that perfect fifth to the A string. And then we get this shape. The second inversion starts on the next note of the triad, which would be the major third on the E string. Usually if I play a triad from the third, it would look like this. Third, fifth, root. Kinda muddy. Same concept applies. We take the note in the middle, in this case the perfect fifth, take it up an octave, and we get our spread voicing. Sounds beautiful, ain't it? The second inversion starts on the perfect fifth, right here. So usually this shape would look like this. Perfect fifth, root note, major third. This is already getting less muddy, but why is that? Because I'm already all the way up on the 12th fret. But I want to have it sound really open, that's why, same principle, middle note, in this case the root note, up an octave, and we get our spread voicing. So those are the major shapes. Now, once you've understood the basic principle, the minor shapes and the diminished shapes come pretty easily. Let's start with the minor shape. Originally we would play it like this: root note, minor third, perfect fifth, ma diez, sh. We take the minor third up an octave and move the fifth to the A string. Now the second inversion. We start from the minor third, the C. Usually it would look like this. But now we take the middle note, in this case the perfect fifth, up an octave and get this. And the second inversion, starting from the fifth, usually sounding like this, looking like this too, but taking up the root note, which is right here, the A, one octave, we get this. Then we have the diminished triad. Usually you'd have to play it like this. There we have two problems. The diminished triad is in itself already dissonant, but playing it that low over 3 strings is just pure rumble and no note definition at all. So, same principle applies as always. We take the minor third up an octave and we move the now diminished fifth to the A string and get this shape. Still somewhat dissonant, as it's supposed to, but way more open sounding. The first inversion starts from the minor third. Usually it would look like this. Taking the diminished 5 up an octave, we get this. And then we have the third inversion, which would usually look like this. Second inversion, sorry. We take the root note up an octave and get this. And there you have it. Major, minor, diminished, spread voicings, including their 2 inversions. Obviously, you can use these spread voicings in all different kinds of musical situations. But just for the sake of it, let's say we're playing a groove. A minor. Did you check out what my right hand was doing? My concept is as follows. Lowest note, thumb, second lowest note, index finger, and the highest note. This might be something you want to adapt, but definitely try and see if it comes natural to you or if it's a total brain cramp, because when you practice these voicings, you don't really want to automate bad finger patting. You really don't want to automate bad finger patterns. Otherwise, what's the use? So pay attention to what your right hand is doing just as much as what your left hand is doing. Or just start out playing it all with one finger until you got the left hand down and have some extra brain power left over to concentrate on your right hand. Okay, here's my exercise for you. Take any chord progression and play it with the spread voicings. Always try to get to the closest version of that following chord shape from the one that you're starting out. So for example, if we take just the obvious 1, 5, 6, 4 in A major, I'll start with the root position, then maybe for the 5 I go to the second inversion. And for the 6 I could also go to the second inversion, but I could also go to the first inversion and then go to the second inversion for the 4. In context, chord progression. Sounds a bit different, but that's the point. You're supposed to learn different ways to connect these chords with each other. And you never know what comes out. And this really leads us right into the next chapter. How I came up with the intro of the strictly bass song Walk. So when I started practicing these triad inversions and spread voicings, something sounded really cool. Check this out. That's just root position, first inversion, second inversion. The intro of Walk is nothing but a minor triad spread voicing in its root position, first inversion and second inversion. So today I showed you how to play chords on the bass without sounding like. I also showed you how to 3x the number of chords by simply using inversions, which further expands your options when it comes to voice leading. Now it's up to you to not just take in the information, but instead create new neural pathways in your brain by applying the newly gained knowledge. Question of the day. Which song are you going to apply the spread voicings to? Let me know in the comment section. And remember, some of the coolest ideas come from you and the MMEducation community, so definitely connect with everyone in the comments and let me know if there's any topic that you would like to be covered in one of the future episodes. Thanks so much for checking out this video. I hope it got you one step further towards becoming the bass player you want to be. Definitely subscribe for more videos just like this. And if you haven't downloaded my top 10 practicing hacks, I'll show you exactly what you need to do to learn more in less time. You'll learn about state management, about practice space setup, about how to have better focus, and a lot more. You can grab it for free with the link in the description. Until next time, MMEducation helps you to learn faster and practice smarter. So keep up the good work. Love and bass.